Hello, fam, and welcome back to another edition of George's Corner. I'm your host, George Lee Jones. Let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about life is to be experienced, not accumulated, okay? Again, life is to be experienced, not accumulated. Here's what I mean by that. When you're going through life, trying to figure out your journey, your course, your path, please keep in mind that everything that you see, everything that surrounds you, think of yourself as a voyeur. It's your experience. I know that some of us have been taught to grow up, get a great job, gain as much as you can materialistically, tangibly, money, cars, houses. I'm here to tell you, just like you came in the world, that's how you're going to leave, empty-handed. Now, the only difference will be is you came into the world naked and crying. I don't think you're going to leave here naked. Some of you might, I'm not sure. But anyway, my point is, you didn't bring anything here. You're not going to take anything away. So please, experience as much of life as you can. I have two stories today I want to share with you. The first one, an older gentleman that I had a conversation with, and he was telling me about a friend of his who was up in years, let's say above 80, lives on the beach, has a $10 million beautiful home he lives in, spent the majority of his life working really, really hard, has an accumulation of about $20 million in the bank, and only shops at Goodwill. Doesn't splurge on himself, doesn't go and buy extravagant things, jewelry, raiment, any of those things. And about a couple of weeks ago, he fell down the steps, broke his hip. When the ambulance got there and got him to the hospital, they did an assessment of not just his hip, but of everything, and found out that he was in stage 2 of Alzheimer's. The point that he was telling me this story, getting back to my original title that I was talking to you about, that life is to be experienced and not accumulated, was that this man had accumulated all this wealth, all this money, didn't really travel or go anywhere, didn't enjoy any of it, and now he has a broken hip, in the hospital, has Alzheimer's now, no one to leave or bequeath his accumulation to. And the sad thought that this particular gentleman had was, wow, this man amassed all this wealth, great home, but didn't travel, didn't do anything really fun from what he experienced being the man's friend. But the man had all this accumulation, and now he's probably going to pass away and not take any of it with him, and other people will share whatever he's amassed. And to him, it was just a sad state of affairs. The second story was a younger gentleman that I ran across who happened to be a trainer. So he's privy to changing people's lives in a way that affects their bodies. He helps them to get on a pretty nutritional diet, to work out their muscles so that they can form their bodies into not just, as I said, a shape, but into a particular shape that they want to be in. And he said one of the things that he noticed, because he grew up impoverished, so he appreciates everything, is grateful for anything that comes along his way, because he said he grew up not wondering if he could get the latest watch or the latest new video game, but he grew up wondering, are we going to eat today? And he says with our new social media society, that the people he trains happen to be pretty well off, and the things that are important to them when they complain, he says, is so minuscule in the reality of life. And he says to me, George, they don't live in reality. I told him I beg to differ. I said, because perception is reality to most people. And I said, I'll prove this by telling you one thing. I said, I'm not on Facebook. However, if I went to, and I mentioned the city, stood at the Bentley or Rolls Royce dealership, took a picture next to it, and posted it on a Facebook site and said, hey, this is my new car I just negotiated, Most people would think that's my reality. Couldn't be further from the truth. And as much as I hate this term, it would be fake news. On the flip side of that, I could go across town to a very wealthy neighborhood, look for a sign on the lawn that says in escrow, stand in front of that sign, obviously with a beautiful, nice mansion behind me, have someone snap the photo, and I put captioned, just closed escrow on my new home. Now, all in that same day, I just what? Got a new mansion, got a new luxury car, and people watching this, my life, not even paying attention to their own life, it would make them feel some kind of way emotionally, which would elicit a physical response, which was probably not going to be too positive on their favor. But in their minds for that moment, I have a new car, a new house, and they're probably thinking, why doesn't that happen for me? I'm here to tell you, stop watching what's happening to other people. Pay attention to what's happening to you. Experience life, travel, see the world, go places you've never been. Think or have thoughts of things you never thought about. But be present and don't find yourself living just to accumulate, because it's all going to pass away. It's all temporary. So again, life is to be experienced, not accumulated. And I'm not talking against having riches. If along your journey and your experiences allow you to accumulate some things that are going to make you happy or add to your happiness, forgive me, I said make you happy. Only you can make you happy. But if they can add to your happiness, by all means, pursue those things. But don't miss out on the experience in lieu of accumulation. That's all I really wanted to say today. Again, life is to be experienced and not to be accumulated. Okay, fam. Love yourselves. Be great and kind to others. And oh yes, always, always be learning something new. I'll tell you one thing, before I go, I learned this week new that I didn't know before, and I shared this with some friends. The first millionaire in the United States, when they started keeping track, was a gentleman, and I won't say his name, but he made his million selling opium. Ha ha! I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing ha ha because of the irony that this individual made their millions in opium, and we happen to be in the midst of an opioid crisis. Now, I'm not going to say that I subscribe to karma, but that would be a real, I won't even say the word. Anyway, love you guys. See you next time. Enjoy your summer. I'm your host, George Lee Jones. Love you. Peace.